Good afternoon. Here we are. Thank you, everybody who's been waiting and chatting. I'm Mary Grace. We're live. Real Talk with Mary Grace. And this is Mary Grace Media. Please, as you come in, follow my channel, hit the thumbs up, and share this link. This is the only channel that I'm live on today. So please make sure you share. I'm not on Facebook or Clout Hub today. So thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. And I wanted to do a little walk and talk because it's kind of warm, a little bit temperate. And I think it's going to be cold. I think we're going to get a polar vortex coming. And that's not really a fun way to do a walk and talk. And I'm also still having some tech issues with my equipment. And so I wanted to just get out and get some fresh air. And I do not have a show scheduled for tomorrow, just FYI. I will be back on Thursday at 5 Eastern, just so you know. And please let everybody know. So if you're not already subscribed to my email list, you can go to my website, marygracemedia.com, and just wait for the little pop up and and then fill in your information. If for some reason you don't get the pop out, you probably have to clear your browser because it probably has a cookie that means it remembers you were there before or something. But it's just on the front page. Don't hit the contact link. Just wait on the front page. So that should work. And then you'll get an automated reply with my links. So it turns out I've been sending people the wrong chat link from my Telegram, from my private chat. So if you are connected with somebody who has been trying to get into the private chat but they can't, you are able to share the link with them. Please do not share the link on social media for the whole world because it is a private channel. And so let's see who's been watching TV today. Who's been watching the impeachment trial? Can you believe it? Like a year goes by and they can't get enough impeachment, so they're doing it again. I don't see any chat, so I don't know who's there and what you guys are talking about or saying. So I don't know if that's normal. And yeah, so I came on a little bit late because I was watching a little bit of the highlights or lowlights or whatever. The thing that I thought was interesting is the response that was posted yesterday by President Trump's team. I think that was very interesting, and I think that's what is laying the groundwork for what we're going to see happening here. Because all this time, I actually thought that a former president could be impeached, and the president's attorneys are making the case that he's a private citizen, and so by very nature of impeachment, that they're saying, the language in the Constitution that describes the conditions of impeachment indicates very strongly that a person has to be uh, the president. They have to, because the whole idea of impeachment is that one remedy is to remove the person from office. So you can't remove from office an individual who's not holding office. So there's that. And let's be clear when it comes to what the Democrats are doing. Nothing that they do is rational. Nothing that they do is kind or good or fair. And, I've had people who are Democrats say to me that the reason they don't like President Trump is because he says these things about Democrats. I want to make it very clear that we're talking about the elected officials. And all you have to do is look at their actions to see how they're acting. These are some of the most heinous people on the planet. It always shocks me when people tell me that President Trump is mean and and they completely gloss over everything that their party is doing, all the evil. It's shocking to me. Um, right? He's so mean. Have you seen your party? Have you seen the way they talk? Have you seen their opening arguments? Have you seen how they twist and lie and distort the truth? Have you seen the names that they've called us? I'm sorry, it just doesn't wash. They truly are evil. But here's the thing, people. What you're seeing right now is not the whole story. And I've told you that. And I really want you to believe it because this has to play out. And the language, the language that you're seeing and the argument that his attorneys presented in the letter is going to come back to bite them. I truly believe that. And the one lawyer, I think it's Castor, who talked today, he talked about, hey, Jim, thank you for what you did yesterday. I appreciate that. Um, so the the lawyer who was talking about the floodgates was very interesting because he said, I was going to use another term from the Bible about reaping the whirlwind, but I heard that was already taken. And if you recall, the person who introduced that into the vernacular in this particular era that we're in is President Trump, I believe. Am I right about that? So sow the wind, reap the whirlwind. And what we're seeing play out here, what we're seeing play out is these people are building their own gallows. I hope you understand that. I hope you understand that. That's what's happening here. They are opening the floodgates for their own demise. And when you talk about draining the swamp, one way to do that is by flooding it out. So just be very aware that this is not the end of the story. And I understand how distressing it is. Of course they want to erase President Trump. They're trying to erase our founding fathers. Why would they not um, go full on to erase every patriot from the beginning until now? Because he reminds them every day of what our founding fathers wanted, and it certainly wasn't tyranny or communism, right? So none of it should surprise you. And one of the things that I want to remind people of is that when we pray for revelation, that the Bible says that He will give you the spirit of wisdom and revelation. We pray for that. We ask for it. Well, revelation means things being revealed, and I would say that things are being revealed. What do you think about that? We want to know exactly what we're dealing with here. We want to know, as ugly as it is. Um, you know, we see just when we thought they couldn't get any more evil, just when we thought that they couldn't get any more low or depraved or disgusting, these elected representatives, some of the most powerful people on the planet, just when we thought it couldn't get any more low, they come in there turning on the waterworks and the drama. Isn't it? It's always the drama with the Dems. Just drama. I mean, they're just such drama queens. I mean, look at AOC. And then I was hiding behind the door. I mean, this is just another version of that. It is disgusting, but we're seeing it. We're seeing who they are, warts and all. Like, we're seeing below the warts, right? And we need to see that. We need to see it. And um, I encourage you to go and listen to the prophetic, I think it was the prophetic roundtable from over the weekend. Jane Hammond was talking, and she just gave a very encouraging word about what's coming, about dancing with the angels. And I know AOC wasn't in the Capitol building. She's a liar. They just lie. I mean, but their father is the devil. So they don't know anything else. They've learned everything that they do from him. But do you remember yesterday the dream I told you about where everybody was dancing and everybody was celebrating and people were running out into the streets? So Jane Hammond was talking about that. She had a word from the Lord about that. And it was very encouraging. And it was right in line with my dream, which is that we're going to be dancing. We're going to be celebrating. We're going to be in a place that is so far above where we are now as a nation, as a world. And it's extremely exciting. And I don't know about you guys, but I think that the sweetest victory, the sweetest victory sometimes is the victory that comes from the lowest lows when you bounce back. Okay? Somebody in the chat is asking for a link. You can get the link yourself. You just have to touch the screen and there will be a little arrow that pops up and you click that. You can copy the link. Can somebody show them how to do that? So, near death experience, exactly. Exactly. That's what, you know, that's what you have to understand. And I was listening yesterday to Amanda Grace and she had a guest on, and I'm sorry I don't remember her name. Most of you will know who she is. But the uh, the cool thing is that they both have had near death experiences. This one lady almost died in childbirth, and then Amanda Grace had a very serious critical condition when she was like 30. She was in the hospital having a heart attack. And so the Lord saved her and restored her and rescued her. And, you know, I was just talking to a friend today about something that happened to me in my 20s that I probably should have been killed. Um, but God rescued me. And I was thinking about this because, these women, Amanda Grace, and I wish I could remember her name, and I apologize to her because she's new to me, but if somebody remembers that woman's name, please tell me. But these women are fearless, and I've been thinking about this myself because a lot of people tell me when I go and do these things, when I broadcast, when I go to Washington, D.C., when I'm walking around and doing the news, that I'm fearless. But here's the thing, when you've come from where I've come from and you've experienced what I've experienced and you've seen the hand of God and you know that God, Rachel Ham, thank you so much. That's the other woman for those listening, Rachel Ham, Hamm. When you've seen God's hand time and time again, and when you know that your life has been rescued from the depths of despair, when the hand of God has reached down, just like the psalmist says, that he reached down into mighty waters and he pulled my hand out and he grabbed my hand and he pulled me out of the mighty rushing waters. And when you know that and when you see that. And that you know that an angels have appeared to save your life and to protect you from the murderer. It's hard to be afraid because just like Corrie Ten Boom, right? She said there's no pit so deep that the love of God is not deeper still. And so I know that I have a mandate and I have a mission, and it's to bring the truth and to see justice and to see people walk into their destiny. And so I can't live in fear. And that's what I see from these women. And that's what I see from our president. He's not afraid. And that's how I know that he is not going to fail, that he can't fail. And this is something that Kevin Zadai talks about. It's rigged in your favor. And right now, winning, winning back our nation and saving America is rigged in our favor. I believe that 100%. And every day I get little confirmations that our great president is still hard at work for our nation. And I'm not talking about a down the road running for office scenario. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that this story is not over and that he is far from finished. And I know I keep hammering this every single day, but I just want you to know he's not afraid. Our president has no fear. And the reason that they're trying to destroy him and that they can't is because he has the angel armies fighting this fight, and because he has no fear. He has zero fear. And that is uh, uh, that is the problem that they have with him. Because think about this. Think about the whole thing, with the China virus. That the reason that it was so effective, it wasn't because of the virus itself. It was the fear. The fear is the virus. And they're controlling people with fear. They're controlling them. I mean, there's a lady walking by me right now who's afraid because I'm 4 feet from her. She's covering up her face with her dirty scarf, right? That's what they've conditioned people to do. And I didn't move over because I'm not sick. And so we have to recondition them. But the fear, they've used the fear, they've leveraged the fear to condition people. And they could never do that with Donald Trump because they have nothing on him. Nothing. Nothing. He has nothing to lose. He's a man who's lost it all and come back from nothing. And so that is the most formidable enemy. A man who has everything to gain and nothing to lose. Because his gain, what the president has to gain here is freedom for all of America and for all of humanity. That's what he's doing here. I mean, it's a zero sum game. Do you understand what that means when I say that? It's a zero sum game. It literally means that there's no halfway. And he has been very clear about this from the start, that there's no halfway point. There's no half winning this. And that's how I know that he hasn't left. That this is a break. And that these forces of evil that have continued to spew their lies and to stoke the fear. Um, the win is so big, sometimes it's hard to imagine. I agree, absolutely agree. And so, so that is, yeah, that is what he is. Um, that's what he's going on. Uh, Michelle, I didn't understand your comment. By the way, if you're watching today and you didn't know that I was going to be only on YouTube, if you just sort of figured it out, I posted in the Telegram channel that I was going to be on YouTube. So make sure you're following that channel, Mary Grace Media Official. Mary Grace Media Official. Whenever I do this, I'll post there, just like I used to post on Twitter. I'm back on Twitter. I'm on my backup account. And, oh, interesting, Michelle. I posted, I'm on my backup account, which is Real Mary Grace 1 on Twitter, and it's Real Mary Grace on Periscope. And I'm just letting those accounts stay up. And I reactivated them. At some point, I'm going to get my account back. I know I will. I'm just waiting. But Real Mary Grace 1 and Real Mary Grace. So Real Mary Grace 1 on Twitter. Make sure you go follow that. So yesterday I told you about the channel, the social media channel that was doing live chats. And everybody needs to make sure that they get dialed into that. That's another reason you need to go to my Telegram, because I've been posting about it. But one thing that they told us, were you on the live chat? So they told us a website, actually 2 websites and a podcast. And so if you're wondering where Dad is going to communicate, you need to go get that information. I'm going to tell you one of the websites, 45office.com. 45office.com. You should bookmark that. All right. I believe the podcast is for future reference. Yes, it hasn't been updated since October. And it's very interesting. So make sure you go and get that information. I posted all of that in my Telegram channel, Mary Grace Media Official. And if you go to the channel and you click the top bar or click the thumbtack, just anywhere in the top of the channel, you'll see tabs. You'll see tabs for pinned post. You'll see tabs for media, images, things like that. Hello. And so that's where you can find that. You don't have to scroll back up through the channel. I think it was 11 and 23. 11 and 23. I think I know who's running the channel. So just make sure that you're dialed into that. And I said this yesterday. Some people are talking about it. I'm just the way this is working is kind of under the radar, and so you need to do a little bit of figuring out and do a little bit of legwork so that this channel doesn't get taken down. Because what they're doing is they're having live chats late at night, and people are asking questions, and in some cases getting responses and getting sort of little crumbs. Okay. And so it's worth doing the work. It's okay, JW. I think it's okay. So what I've learned about mainstream media, which works in our favor, is that most of them don't actually do any research, and most of them don't even watch channels like mine, and they sure as heck don't have really high IQs. And so what they think they know about certain movements is what they've been told to say or read off the teleprompter. And so they're not going around digging. The only time they dig on social media is when they have a keyword or something and they want to cancel somebody. Oh, they're lazy as anything. Yeah, they just make stuff up. So let's not make it easy or obvious for them to set up a scenario where they're mass reporting this account. Okay, there are backup accounts. I don't mean my account. I mean the other one. So, Mary Grace Media Official. If somebody has a link to my Telegram channel, you should be able to search it, Mary Grace Media Official. So the way Telegram works is it has the beginning. It has t.me whatever slash. So if you're on a channel, if you're following a channel, go look at the way that their channel name is written, copy that, and then take the last part out. So like Don Jr., right? t.me/Don Jr. Take off the Don Jr. and then type in Mary Grace Media Official, and you should find my channel. You get what I'm saying? So the last part of that address is Mary Grace Media Official. But you guys need to help each other, okay? I can't help you all individually. Help each other. Be helpers. Be a helper. And yeah, Mary Grace Media Official. I'm right there. It's right there. It's a public channel. You can search a public channel. The sun's going down. What was I saying? I want to check my notes here. I don't have anything really earth-shattering today. I really just wanted to walk and talk and kind of talk to you guys about what I'm seeing. Yeah, and you have to be on Telegram. You have to have the Telegram installed so that you can then look. When did they post the location, Kathy? If you ever see that, then they post the location temporarily. If you can get a screenshot of it and the timestamp, I would appreciate it if you could email it to me. I saw that one last night. Yeah, where they were. Um, that would be great because they don't leave them up for very long. Let me just see. Oh, so one of the other things that our insider talked about. Oh, Jim, I'm gonna talk about Jim's comment here because he just said something really interesting. He said superfoods is like a miracle drug. No kidding. And I agree. Isn't it amazing? I was actually just doing a recording last night of an explainer video and just talking about how much it changed my life. You'll have to do a testimonial. You'll get free superfoods. And I'll tell you something with the superfoods. I'm getting more and more people are getting on the superfoods. And I started out just telling people about it because I wanted people to have a clean, reliable source of organic foods, right? Not one of these people is stopping to let me go through the crosswalk. Must be Democrats. Okay. Um, yeah, the Power Shake is really good. So, but what happened when I was talking about that is that everybody started to want the superfoods, and now the coolest thing is that so many people want the superfoods. I can't do it all by myself. And so I have people who now are getting their own referral code. And so we're building this little team, you know? And you guys are going to be excited about the next person that's coming on my team. You guys know that Greg Harvey is on my team, and he's got tons of people now who are inspired by his weight loss. He's losing 75 pounds. I think he's lost over 25 pounds. And Delia has lost 60 pounds. Her before and after pictures are amazing. And she feels so good. And people are telling me one of the big things they tell me is inflammation, because when you get your body balanced and you cut the inflammation that comes from a poor diet or stress or autoimmune conditions and things like that, you'd be amazed at the aches and pains that just go away. It's incredible. I want to hear more about your story though, Jim. So here's the thing. Yesterday, I spilled my Power Shake on the rug just a little bit, and my cat, you guys know Barley. So Barley ran over and was licking it up. He loves it. He loves the superfoods. So he gets the little greens. He loves it. Um, yeah, I want to hear more. But but the superfoods, in case you're new here and you're wondering what the heck she's talking about, I'm talking about that we have the world's best superfoods on the planet, and what we have is green, organic, and uh, and it's delivered right to your door, and it's really super sustainable, and it's just been the best thing because people are getting healthy. They're getting their minds, they're getting their brain fog cleared, they're dealing with chronic issues that nothing else has helped. They're getting away from pharmaceuticals, all kinds of solutions. Michelle is saying it's actually repairing my stomach slowly. IBS is getting better and better. The reflux is getting less frequent. Yeah, I mean, and here's the cool thing, because it's a lifestyle transformation, you get the superfoods and it becomes just part of what you're doing. It's not a diet, it's not a quick fix. It's like, okay, now I'm getting superfoods in my body and everything is changing for the better. And so why would I stop? That's the great thing about it. And so anybody that wants to get the superfoods can write to me. We have a 30-day transformation pack, and if you write to me and you get a discount code, you'll save $100 off of retail for that entire 30 days. It's like 60 meal replacements. It's such a great deal. And and so and then there's a loyalty program. I don't know if you're on that, Jim, but if you get on the loyalty program, you actually save on your future orders, and then you also earn double points toward free product. It's great, way better than those big box online retailers, that's for sure. So write to me at info@marygracemedia.com to get your voucher so that you can jump in. We have coaching groups, we have a Telegram group. There's a ton of people on Facebook in a private group. If you're on Facebook, you can do that. And there's a really good blog, all kinds of really great resources. I mean, there's testimonies. Look in the chat here for all the testimonials about the superfoods. Somebody just said they haven't taken a migraine pill. How long was it since you took it? Yeah, somebody said I can just imagine Barley looking it up. Barley ran right over there. Um, Carrie, did you say you have something like instructional videos? Yeah, we have an explainer video. It's really good because our superfoods expert explains a little bit of the science behind what we have and what makes it so much better. Because, people hear the word superfoods all the time, but what does that really mean? And how do you get the most pure form of it in your body, right? Because, I mean, you could go shopping every single day and buy organic and make 5 or 6 superfood salads a day, but who has time for that? Um, this is really amazing. Yeah, so send me an email, info@marygracemedia.com, and I'll send you that little explainer video. And then there's a link with the code you can buy. Um, uh, Sheila, yeah, so send me an email, info@marygracemedia.com, and I'll send you that video. Yeah, it's great. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the testimonials. Yeah, my kitten, he was a little bit high energy before he drank the superfoods, and he certainly didn't slow down after, that's for sure. It was so funny though how he ran right over there. He was like, "Oh." And he doesn't usually do that. Like when you put table food down. I mean, sometimes he's a little bit into it, but not like that. He was just Johnny on the spot, like, "Oh my gosh, superfoods." Thank you, Anne. Um, it's good stuff. Okay, what was I talking about? I was talking about the impeachment. Okay, so our source that has been dropping breadcrumbs all this time asked a question a long time ago. And then the question was, how do you introduce evidence legally? What do they mean by that? How do you introduce evidence into a court of law and have it go on record? Well, it certainly seems like impeachment is one way to do that. What do you think about that? I mean, do you remember 2 days after the election, President Trump said, "We have the evidence"? What evidence was he talking about? He was talking about voter, you know what. Think about that. We have all the evidence. He had the evidence before Rudy Giuliani did a press conference. He had the evidence. Um, he had the evidence before Patrick Byrne came out. He had the evidence before My Pillow guy produced his video. You know that, right? You know that. And one of the interesting things is that President Trump replaced the head of every intelligence agency except one, and I believe it was NSA, Admiral Rogers. And that was the person who told President Trump that he was being spied on at Trump Tower. Do you remember that? And so anybody that tells you that the president doesn't know what's going on and that he doesn't have all of it and that nothing's going to happen, I think that maybe they're just in the fog of war. Maybe they're just tired and frustrated and they've given up hope. Maybe they're just having a bad day and they don't totally see. Well, I see and I know. Um, yeah. So anybody that's having trouble finding me on Telegram, can people in the chat help them? That would be awesome. It would be so great if you guys would connect and help each other get on my Telegram. That would be really wonderful. Um, I'm getting into kindergarten teacher mode. I would always say, ask a friend, be a helper. How do I do this? Well, did you ask a friend? Because the thing is, we have to be connected offline too. And so this is a good way to connect with people offline, to get somebody's email address and connect with them and maybe do private messaging on Telegram and, form a connection outside of my chat. Wouldn't that be great? I've met some of my very, very best friends in this movement through shows just like this. You got explaining to do. The answer is above about Telegram. So it's worth it to reach out and pray for discernment. And you'd be amazed at the people that God brings into your life. Seriously. I mean, I've gotten so many opportunities and so many connections and so many close friends that I know have my back. Some of them I've never actually met in person. But, God has really brought a core group of friends into my life through doing what I'm doing and through, meeting people in chat. Pretty cool. You got some explaining to do. I sent you you got the email with your links and your resources for your superfoods, right? For the Telegram room for that. If you didn't, send me an email so that I can give you that. There's a whole list of resources, okay? And if you already got your box, there's also some links in the back of your book to where you can go and get on the training calls and the blog and things like that. So make sure you take advantage of that. So help each other. Does anybody have any questions? It's almost dark. I'm almost home. 39 minutes. I kind of want to sit down for a minute. This is where I ride my bike sometimes. I think I want to bring my skates out. Now that people aren't out driving around as much and they're not working as much, it's easier to go out and walk around and not have too much traffic. It's kind of nice. But you know what happened was Fox 406. Oh, JW, what I think happens on the chat sometimes is that when people give money, the moderator thanks them. And there was one like that I saw, and I thought it was a drop. I thought it was a crumb, but it was actually just they were thanking that person. So, yeah, that's what happened, yeah. I know, I got so excited. I thought, "Oh my goodness, is this a message? Is this a coded message?" And it really was just like, "Hey, thanks for the donation." I know, it's pretty funny. Pretty funny. Um, any other questions? Any questions? Oh, here's what I was gonna tell you. So there's a local, company, it's actually a nationwide company, this State Farm, but they have a big call center here, near my town, and, like, more in the city, and, my cousin works there, and she's been working at home because of the Rona, right? Because it's so scary, and, she posted on Facebook the other day, and she said that she cleaned out her office and her cubicle was empty, and that they were teleworking now. They're not opening back up the State Farm office. So you should call your State Farm rep and tell them that you want a discount because they're not paying all that overhead now. I think the Rona is going to disappear. It's going to disappear about the time 45 comes back. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, she gets to be home with her kids more, of course, but it's just a very strange situation. Um, what happens after the fraud is exposed? States overturn. Linda, that's the $1,000,000 question. Uh, that's a $1,000,000 question. I don't know. People shouldn't have to work at home. I know. It's very challenging for a lot of people. I mean, I have a setup where I mean, I work but from home by choice, but my other cousin works for a big hospital and she works from home. It's actually a good arrangement for her because her mother needs a lot of care. And so she has everything set up, but she has the whole thing set up in her bedroom. So she's got the computers right there in her bedroom. That's not ideal, but it's working out for them, you know. Somebody asked me if I thought that the other what did you ask me, JW? You asked me a question earlier. Uh, am I hearing anything else from my sources? Um, thank you guys. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have some things that I can't really talk about, but nothing has changed. In other words, the things that I know and the reassurance that I've been given hasn't changed. And the things that I'm seeing on that chat and on that channel are confirming that. So, again, I don't know how it's gonna play out, and nobody should know. Nobody who's even high ranking, who's not read in, should know. If if the strategy is disclosed, and if anybody is read in, then we're in big trouble because that means our enemies know what's gonna happen. So pray for 100% operational secrecy. That's what needs to be, um, that needs to be your prayer for 0 leaks. And remember, that was the president's one of his primary objectives and accomplishments on getting into office was to stop the leaks and to find the leakers and, you know, to make sure that they were able to operate under secrecy. Remember, he said the news is fake, the leaks are real, but the news is fake. And that is because a lot of the fake news that was reported was intentionally fed to the leakers. Remember that. And I don't think that's changed. And so some of these people that are out there telling you that they know X, Y, or Z and that they know it's going to happen on a certain day and that they have all these details, I would be very wary of them because there's a good chance that they're either just making it up, they're just BS, or they're getting leaks to spread disinformation, or they're getting leaks from the black hats. So yeah, it's just yeah. I mean, there's one or two people that I listen to, and I think, okay, this person is dialed in a way that I'm going to trust what they say, and I'm going to trust and take it with a grain of salt, but I don't think they're completely full of it. Other people, I listen to them and I think, okay, this person is just a complete and total fraud. And they are just leading people down the garden path because they have a forum and they're getting attention by doing it. That's my take on it, right? And I've been wrong about things, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong about this. I'm not wrong about the president. And so I know that I know that I know that he's uh he's he's fully engaged. Yeah. What about Elon Musk? I haven't really been that dialed into what Elon Musk is doing and following him that much. I go back and forth about where he is. Uh, what did Garrett Ziegler say? Did he say something about Code Monkey? One thing that I think would be helpful to understand about different people in the movement is that different people have different roles to play. And he said Code Monkey was safe. I don't. What do you mean that he's a safe source, or that he's physically safe? What do you mean by that? What I was going to say is that the when you have oh, okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, so what I was going to say about certain people who play certain roles, that just like when in the military, whenever you talk to people who have worked on certain projects, that 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 if they're building a plane or a rocket or something, they may have the specs for only one component of that project, and that's for operational security. And I think that that's true in what we're dealing with right now too. So there are people who have access to certain pieces of information and who are given specific tasks. And some of them have more opinions about what they think should be happening than others. But in for the most part, I would say that that the operation that we're in the middle of right now and that we've been in for years is compartmentalized. And that's obviously for secrecy. You tracking with me? I got to start walking back. Um, so why are you worried about the nukes? We're not getting nuked. Don't be worried about that. That's the least of our worries. Don't worry about that. It does make sense, doesn't it, Vicky? And so, when you see people who are being very opinionated about something, maybe they were given a task or they volunteered for a task, and it just happened that what they hey, puppy, hey, hold on, hey, it looks like your leash broke. Come here, come here. We found a dog here. Come on, come on. He's right here. We have to take this dog back. Come on. Sit. 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 Shh, 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 shh. No, it's okay. I got him. Got him. I got her. It's okay, baby. It looks like she broke her. Here you go. Is that something's hanging off of here? Is that just part of her? This part? Oh, okay. Yeah, you got her. You got her. Okay. Okay, baby.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care. That's okay. She came right to me. Okay. Um. All right. She ran out the door. The road is right over here. Okay. A little adventure. She was really squirrely. Um. Saving dogs. Yeah. I'm a I'm an animal whisperer. Do we know what is happening with President Trump? Patricia, did you just come in the chat here? Have you been following me or are you brand new? I mean, that's what I've been talking about. You can watch the replay because I think, you know, I don't know what you mean. Do you mean specifically? Is he playing golf? Yeah, go back and watch the replay and then watch my broadcast from the last couple of weeks. Yeah. Um, yeah, darker there than in Florida. Yeah. I was going to go to Florida next week, but you guys are getting that polar vortex. I'm not going to Florida to be out there in 60 degrees. I can get that right here, right now. Um, you're the cat whisperer. You would love my cat. He's so sweet. He follows me around. He sits at the door when I leave and he looks at me like, "How dare you leave?" So funny. I think because he was rescued. Yeah, it's going to be way too cold for me. I'm not going in the cold. I'll come down when it's warmer. Red Pill show last week with Reba Cheryl. No, is that? I think I may have heard about Red Pill's show. I don't know. The Goat Whisperer. I've never had goats. My cousin had a goat. It always sat on top of the dog of the house. They had a house for it, and it just sat on top of the house, and then it climbed on top of the cars. That wasn't really an optimal situation. Um, it was supposed to eat the kudzu, but it mostly just climbed on things. So there was that. What was I talking about? The president, as far as 1871 Constitution and the Jural Conventions, can you send it to me? Do you mind? Um, just send it to me or put it in our Telegram, put it in the Telegram chat, and I'll see it. The president, I believe, is he's in Florida, but one of my friends is going to be at Mar-a-Lago in the next week or so, and so I'll get some intel. Um, do you believe the whole thing about the old versus new Constitution? JW, I used to think that it was just sort of out there, but I'm starting to realize that it's not that far fetched. The question, of course, is how does it get implemented? How do we reverse course? And some of the reports that I've heard are that some of the reports are that the groundwork has been laid, and that when the president comes back as as the 19th president, I think that's what they say he's going to be, that that the groundwork would have been laid, that there are people in place in positions of government to replace what would in some ways would be considered a failed state. I don't know. Uh, you know, and I think that what I do know and what I think that most people who aren't completely radicalized on either direction would agree that the system that we have now is completely corrupt and that those people do not represent us. They pretend to, and they just take a big fat paycheck for life. Um, I'm not wearing my braided hat because it's not very cold right now. It's a little bit warmer, so I have my scarf on. Uh, so anyway, I think that as more and more people see this, the treachery of what's going on, like I mean, there are people on the left who really they know, they understand that this election was a total fraud. They don't like Trump, but they're smart enough and intellectually honest enough to look at the situation and go, this isn't right. And to me, that's a big sign. I mean, that's very encouraging. Uh, it's bitterly cold there. Well, it's supposed to get cold here. We're supposed to get a polar vortex, and so that's why I'm doing this walk today. And I told my dad I would take him out and help him fix his bird feeders. Now I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to do that tomorrow because he saw the bluebirds out when we were walking yesterday, and he wants to clean out the houses to get them ready. Do I believe Biden is not at the White House? No, I don't believe that. I know I have sources that are telling me he is. Um, and that's all I can say about that. But does that mean that he's running things? Just because his body is there, just because he's physically there, doesn't mean that he's in charge. Uh, low in Minnesota is 23, minus 23. Whew. Well, that's reason enough to buy fur. Make sure you hit the thumbs up here, guys. I've got 141 watching. I only have 41 thumbs up. Come on, give me some love. The clouds are really pretty, aren't they? Have we found out why the lights are out at the White House every night? No, I don't think so. But I don't think it's to save energy. The thing is, these people will lecture you all day long about green energy, but they're financing pipelines in other parts of the world. You know that. I mean, they've had us on the petrodollar for generations, and so all of this nonsense about going green and solar and wind and all that, these people are making millions of dollars off of fossil fuels in other parts of the world. You understand that, right? Just to be clear, this has nothing to do with saving the planet. It has to do with lining their wallets. You do thumbs up after. Thank you for the thumbs up. It should be on your screen. Yeah, it's all about financing the New World Order. They want you subjected. They want you slaves. Yeah, it is getting dark. I knew that was going to happen. Somebody who lives in DC said they've always gone out to diminish insects. I don't know about that. I don't know. The guy, that Richard guy that walks around feeding the National Guard, he doesn't seem to think that they have gone out, and he lives there. So it's not something we thought about paying attention to before, was it? The question that I have is, are the stands still up at the Capitol? And I was asking somebody about that who lives up there, and they took a picture, but it was hard to tell if they were taking them down. If anybody has a recent picture or video from the last 24 hours, I would love to know if the inauguration stands are still up at the Capitol. They were still up like 2 days ago, uh, but there was some conjecture about whether they were being taken down in the process of being taken down. So I don't know. Any more couple of questions? As you're coming in, don't forget to follow me. If you want to join my email list, you can go to marygracemedia.com and wait for the little pop-up and then put in your information. If you want superfoods, make sure you write to me, info@marygracemedia.com, and make sure you write to me, info@marygracemedia.com, so that you can get a full 30-day pack of superfoods to do your transformation, and you'll get $100 off retail for that, 60 meal replacements. This is really so much better than those like survival packs and things like that. It's real food. It's green, organic. I'm out here in the dark. So just make sure you write to me. You'll get that voucher. We have a transformation group that just started yesterday, but you can also get access to the replays of the coaching that we did in January. So don't forget that. And don't forget to, what happened in Arizona? Do we have any recourse? How do we post something on your Telegram? Hold on a second. Don't forget to follow my other channels, Facebook, Clout Hub, Instagram, Gab, Mary Grace Media. I'm going to turn on the lights here. Mary Grace Media on all those. Here we go. Light. There we go. Yay. I have a light. I do. See? I'm on the porch now. Let's see my flag. Yeah, Clout Hub channel 111. And there we go. Clout Hub channel 111. All that. I'm all over the internet. Yeah. So I'm getting dialed into all this stuff. I will be back on Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern, right here, and most likely on Clout Hub and Facebook as well. Just depends on how my stream is working. Okay. Do I have a reflector arm in? I do, yeah. Yep. So thank you everybody for the nice chat and for walking with me. Let me see how far I walked. Let's see. I remembered I walked 2.24 miles. Not bad. You can barely see me. That's because I'm under my porch. It's dark out. I made them put a light switch on the outside of my carport. I think that's one of the smarter things I ever did. Hey, Terry in Ohio. Thank you for being here. Thank you to the moderators. I appreciate it. It's a lot easier to moderate one platform than three. That's for sure. And stick with Clout Hub. They're going through a lot of growing pains, but they're going to get things sorted out. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay. MaryGraceMedia.com.